North Korea. A new report says, quote, the National Security Council has presented President Trump with options to respond to North Korea's nuclear program, including putting American nukes in South Korea or killing dictator Kim Jong-un. Multiple top-ranking intelligence and military officials told NBC News. Seemed like a good time to bring back to the conversation General Barry McCaffrey, who, on top of the military experience we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, also served, importantly, as special representative for the chair of the Joint Chiefs during national security visits to Korea and Japan, and a military advisor during nuclear arms control negotiations in Moscow back in '92. General, I see you smiling. What do you make of this?
Well, I hope these are deliberate leaks and some low-level attempt to influence North Korean thinking. I mean, first of all, it'd be a violation of our current law to assassinate a head of state. Internal attacks in North Korea with special operations forces sound like utter nonsense. Look, we got a problem in North Korea. These people are dangerous. They got maybe 15 nukes now. Within a decade, they're going to have over 100. They're clearly on the verge of having an ICBM that could strike the United States. They're probably 5-10 years short of having a submarine launch capability. And they've got a guy in his early 30s who's shooting all his senior military and political advisors because he's loose in the saddle trying to maintain control. I don't think in this case you can bluff with military power. You can signal with U.S. military power. And if you're going to use military measures against North Korea, you better write down your objective and decide what you're trying to achieve.
Well, if you were the briefer, if you were called into Mar-a-Lago tonight to talk to the president, how would you advise him on how to go forward on this?
Well, I think, look, we have regional allies there that are vital to us. The Japanese, the South Koreans, the Australians. This is a collective challenge. The UN can be background noise, but essentially, it seems to me, we're going to have to make a utterly serious, monumental program to pull together ballistic missile defense. That means in South Korea, in Japan, the U.S. Navy offshore with Aegis missile systems, THAAD short-range interceptors. We do have a strategic anti-ballistic missile capability in the United States. It does work. We deny that in public all the time and talk about its failings. We got to have an insurance policy or the American people will be at risk in the coming 10 years.
So it's probably germane that you're in Seattle, one of at least 2 major West Coast population centers, that when we talk about a ballistic missile, this is where it gets real. And you are actually saying to, because he is so uncontrollable, go to the prevention stage, make sure we can stop what is incoming, and let's hope that their technology is not very good.
Yeah, sure. I don't think we can get them to do away with nuclear weapons for any reason. He's not putting that genie back in the bottle. I do think we can communicate to him, look, 2 things. One, if you use these weapons, our defensive capability will mute your offense. And then secondly, if you use these weapons against us or our allies, we will strike the North Korean population. Look, at the end of the day, this is a dreadful situation. Military power, again, is not going to solve it preemptively, in my view. The city of Seoul, 25 million people, is within range of thousands of North Korean artillery pieces. And we can't get at them with conventional power. So again, this is a dreadful situation. We need prevention and defensive measures in a major way. And privately, we're going to have to tell the North Koreans, use these weapons and we will retaliate with a nuclear strike.
Wow. General Barry McCaffrey, when you call it a dreadful situation, it seems like an understatement. Thank you so very much for this conversation, General. And coming up, the win for the Trump administration today that was overwhelmed by
allegations that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un assassinated his own half-brother. North Koreans remain largely oblivious. Most North Koreans only have propaganda for news and no idea of reality outside of what Kim's regime feeds them. However, South Korea wants to catch the North up on the latest developments. A South Korean military officer told NBC News, "We are considering providing information about the killing of Kim Jong-nam into North Korea via loudspeaker broadcast." South Korea has used giant speakers to blast propaganda to the north in the past.